ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಣ್ಣಾ ವಿಶೇಷ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಹೌದು, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಣ್ಣಾ. ಜನಲೋಕಪಾಲ ಮಸೂದೆಯ ಅಗತ್ಯತೆ ಏನಿದೆ, ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಬೇಕು, ಇದರ ಪ್ರಾಮುಖ್ಯತೆ ಏನು, ಈ ಕುರಿತಾದ ನೇರ ಸಂವಾದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬನ್ನಿ ಅದರ ನೇರ ಪ್ರಸಾರವನ್ನು ವೀಕ್ಷಿಸೋಣ.
As far as judiciary is concerned, we need to understand what we are proposing. Some people are saying that we are proposing that judiciary should be brought under the purview of Lokpal. We are not saying anything like that. One gets a feeling that judiciary will start reporting to Lokpal. We are not asking anything like that. We are not saying that judiciary will report to Lokpal. Judiciary, we strongly support independence of judiciary, and we are we respect our judiciary and we respect the independence of our judiciary. All that we are saying is that if today there is an allegation of bribery against a High Court or a Supreme Court judge, you cannot even register an FIR. You cannot even start investigation against the judge without receiving the permission from the Chief Justice of India. Now, in the last 20 years, I was talking to Prashant Bhushan in the morning, and he tells me that in the last 20 years, despite so much of allegations of corruption and despite so much of evidence available in public domain against some corrupt judges, permission has been given by the Chief Justices of all the Chief Justices put together only in one case. That means this system of getting permission from the Chief Justice of India before registering an FIR is actually promoting corruption and is serving to protect the corruption of the judges. This system has definitely not worked. Now what we are proposing is that if there is an allegation of corruption, 7 members of Lokpal will be an 11-member body. 7 members of Lokpal in an open hearing should decide whether there is sufficient evidence to register an FIR against a judge or not. Is this system better, where 7 members will decide whether to start an investigation or not, or whether the system that exists today, where the Chief Justice of India grants permission to register an FIR? Which one is better to protect the independence of judiciary? We greatly respect our judiciary, we greatly respect the independence of judiciary, but all of us need to decide which is a better system to protect the independence of judiciary. Whether the present system is better or the system where 7 members in open hearings will decide whether an FIR should be registered or not. This is all that we are asking for. An impression is sought to be given in some sections of the media that judiciary will be covered under Lokpal. We are not saying that judiciary will start reporting to Lokpal. As regards bureaucracy, some people are saying that Lokpal should not deal with the entire bureaucracy. Lokpal should deal with only high-level corruption. If that be so, who will deal with low-level corruption? At Panchayat level, in public distribution system, in Narega, all these cases, where will a common man go to? So what we are looking at is a comprehensive anti-corruption system in our country, where a citizen can go and report corruption, whether it is high-level corruption or it is low-level corruption. Next we are proposing is that public grievances, if you go to an office and you try to get your ration card made, or you try to get your passport made, your passport is not made, your ration card is not made, either in the expectation of bribery or there is an open demand for bribery. Now if you go and make a complaint to any place, you don't have any evidence. What evidence can you give? You can only make an allegation that they are not doing my job in expectation of bribery. How can you prove that there is corruption? It is very difficult to prove that there is corruption. So we have devised a novel method of dealing with such kind of cases. What we are proposing is that every department should make a list of all the public dealing works that it does. They should come out with a new citizens charter. The citizens charter should say that this work will be done in this much time and this officer will do this job. If that officer does not do its job, then the citizen can make a complaint to the head of the department. Head of the department will have to do your job in 30 days' time. If he also does not do the job, Then you go to the vigilance officer in Lokpal. In every district, after this law comes in picture, what we are proposing is, in every district there should be one vigilance officer who will belong to Lokpal. You can go and make a complaint to Lokpal. The vigilance officer will have to get your work done in 30 days time. He will also have to impose a penalty on the head of the department and the concerned officer. And that penalty will be deducted from their salary, and that will be given to you. That penalty will be given to you as compensation. And when a complaint is made to the Lokpal or vigilance officer, the grievance will be deemed to have a corruption angle. It will be assumed that those officers have not worked in expectation of bribery. You don't have to prove it. They will have to prove that they did not expect a bribery. So there will be a case of corruption registered against these people, and a vigilance inquiry will take place against them. Now, in my opinion, as soon as if there are 3 or 4 cases in which penalty is imposed on the head of the department, and if he faces a penalty proceeding, I am very sure, I used to work in income tax department, I was thinking that if my chief commissioner faced such a penalty, he will call all the officers and he will tell them that if next time any such thing happens, he will hang the officers. So all the cases of grievances, I think, will stop. Many people are saying that lakhs of grievances will start coming. In my opinion, all the grievances will stop if you start holding the head of the department responsible for non-solving the grievances. But even if we assume that thousands of grievances start coming, I think it is after 60 years of independence, the time has come that the government should deploy the officers and the resources to solve the people's grievances, rather than saying that since there are lakhs of grievances, we can't solve them. The time has come that we should demand from the government that they should start solving the grievances of the people. Next is, we are saying that all across the country we have come across cases where the people who raise their voice against corruption, they are murdered, they are victimized, they are threatened, they are transferred, they are all kinds of things, or they face harassment. It will be the duty of Lokpal, and Lokpal will have the powers, Lokpal and Lokayukta, to protect and provide protection to all such people who are rising against corruption. There are so many cases where people file RTI applications and they have to face harassment, they have to face threats, and many of them have been murdered. In the last 1 year, 13 people have been murdered across the country. So it will be the duty of the Lokpal and Lokayukta to provide protection to such people. Then there is corruption within parliament. MPs, MLAs are openly sold and purchased. Right now under the constitution, you can't touch them. As per law, no investigating agency can even initiate an investigation for anything that happens within parliament. This is as per Supreme Court's judgment in Jharkhand Mukti Morcha case. What we are suggesting is that whether you do corruption inside parliament or outside parliament, and especially when you do corruption inside parliament, it threatens the very existence and the foundation of our democracy. We cannot allow our honorable MPs and MLAs to continue to be sold and purchased. They cannot function in parliament by taking money. They cannot raise questions in parliament. They cannot vote in parliament by taking and paying money. This has to be checked. Right now, this cannot be checked under something called privileges of parliament, as if it is their privilege to take bribe and to give bribe. So what we are suggesting is that the constitution should be amended, and the allegation, the Lokpal or Lokayukta should be directly allowed to receive complaints of corruption, and they should be allowed to investigate and prosecute in such cases also. Do you agree with this? Then we are suggesting is that every politician and every bureaucrat should declare their annual property, movable and immovable assets annually, and that should be put up on the website. And if subsequently any asset is found which has not been declared, it will be assumed, it will be deemed to have been acquired through corrupt means, and it will be confiscated, and that person with a case of corruption will be registered against that person. Now the question arises, what if the staff or the Lokpal themselves turn corrupt? Which is a very important question. So friends, though we have provided some measures in this law, but we need many more suggestions from all of you, from all across the country, from all the people who are watching this program. We need a lot of suggestions from you. What else should we write in the law to ensure that this institution does not turn corrupt? But some of the measures that we have written is, number one, the entire functioning of Lokpal and Lokayukta should be completely transparent. After the completion of investigation in any case, the entire records of investigation should be put up on the website so that people can see what kind of investigation took place. Number two, no case should be closed at Lokayukta or Lokpal without hearing the complainant. And after hearing the complainant, if the case is closed, the Lokpal or Lokayukta should disclose all the records or all the inquiries or investigations which took place in that case. Thirdly, if any staff turns corrupt, then what we are proposing is that there should be a complaints authority set up at every state level, which will be completely independent of Lokpal and Lokayukta. You can go and make a complaint to that complaints authority, and that complaints authority in an open hearing will decide whether corruption took place or not. They will have to decide within 1 month of your complaint, and in the next 1 month, if there is any substance in your complaint, the staff in the Lokayukt or Lokpal should be completely dismissed from the job. You can't have corrupt people checking corruption in this country. What if Lokpal members themselves turn corrupt? Then you can make a complaint to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court will have to hear all these complaints. They cannot dismiss any complaint ab initio. They will hold a prima facie hearing. If there is a prima facie case, then they will order a special investigation which should be completed in 3 months' time. And on the basis of that report, the Supreme Court will decide and order whether the Lokpal member ought to be removed or not. If he ought to be removed, they will make a recommendation to the President, and the President shall remove that member within a certain time. And lastly, how will these Lokpal members be selected? It's a long process. We have ensured that the process is transparent, participatory, so that people's feedback is received before the Lokpal selection takes place. During the course of today's debate, I will tell you this detailed process of selection also. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Arvind, for enunciating the main points of the legislation.
Why don't you say so?
ಅಣ್ಣಾ ಹಜಾರೆ ಅವರೊಂದಿಗೆ ನೇರ ಸಂವಾದದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮುಂದುವರಿಯುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ನಂತರ.